The next house that I want to present, actually the concept that we implemented here is almost like a layering system. And the layering system works on floor plan, and then it also works on 3D in the elevations. On the layering of the home is that we layered the layers from the inside to the outside. So we've got an atrium in this particular home, and that is one layer. And then we've got the glass that actually wraps with the passages and the rooms that are around that, forming the second layer. And then obviously using that layering system, we have come back on the outside of the house and did a horizontal layering system with different slabs and roofs that we've pulled around the design. So I'm quite keen to show you what we've done there. Starting on the outside of the home, we've actually got a beautiful water feature that we've wrapped around certain sections of the home, especially the front entrance. So actually, as you enter, you actually walk across the water to our front entrance, and then we have actually pulled the water feature into the home in one section. So it actually creates a separation between your entrance hall and your study, with both of those spaces actually looking out onto that water feature. And that study, because it wraps around two portions of that study, we have done the windows all the way to the ground, and it actually feels like that study actually sits into the water right at that front entrance. Interesting design principle that we were playing with this particular home is that the entrance here actually appears like a floating slab. So it actually sits on a glass wall effectively on the one side, which actually forms our entrance. And on the other side, we've got a very solid stone heavy wall that we've put there. And with the slab actually looks like it's hanging in the air because we have hidden the supports for this particular slab within the glass window of the entrance. So looking at this home and the different layering that we've used, so as you enter, we've got the study, which is at a single level. We've got your 1.5 volume entrance hall, which forms our floating slab, which we love that height that we're creating at the entrance. So when you arrive there, it really feels nice and spacious and open. But because of the size of that overhang, you actually have adequate protection there. Then you enter into a double volume entrance hall, and then it steps back down to a single level with the bridge that we've done over that section. So we've got different layers at different levels, and because it's so open on the front, we've got a lot of light coming into that area. So it really is a very striking entrance hall, and I'm excited to show you the reveal of this home. So if you want to see the walkthrough on this, hit the subscribe button, and we look forward to seeing you there. Originally at the front entrance, we actually had a waterfall that comes down the stone wall that actually drops from that 1.5 volume slab all the way down to the bottom into that water feature that we've got running past the entrance. So the client unfortunately has opted not to go that route with the water feature, but that's an interesting feature that we plan that you will see on our 3Ds. Once you enter the home, we almost have a linear view of the home from the one side, where you actually look right through to your garden and entertainment area. So as you enter, you look into your entrance hall first of all. Then after that, you look into your atrium, and we'll share some images for you to what we want that atrium to look like. And then after that, you look through the patio, which is completely open on both sides, so you can actually view through that space. And behind that, we have put a sunken pit with a swimming pool that is directly behind that. And something very interesting that we did with that pool is we did a glass edge that faces onto the house, so that when you are standing in the entrance hall, you literally have a view right into the water of your swimming pool. One of the reasons why we like atriums, it has such an amazing feeling when you enter. It really brings such a tranquility to the home, because in our world, everything is at such a rush. But for me, it almost feels like when you enter that entrance, it actually becomes a pause, because there you actually experience that space that is directly in front of you, which is something so different because it's actually a garden on the inside of the house. So it really becomes a pause for you in that space, and all of the spaces around that area actually absorb that tranquility of that space. You know, when you're in the dining room, you're sitting next to this garden and the water feature. You know, when you're walking down the passage, you're actually experiencing it as you walk around there, and it just creates a calmness in the home, which we love to bring into our designs and for our clients to actually experience that. And we get so many comments from our clients saying it's the best thing they could ever have done. It's got light, ventilation, it cools down the house during the summer, where you can actually open the spaces onto that and get the air flowing through the space. And during the winter, it heats up the home because you close that space up and the areas around it becomes like a hot box. And it actually captures the heat in those spaces because of the lower angle of the sun. So there's so many benefits on that, and for us, Atriums are really such an amazing design feature with so many benefits from all different fronts. We've spoken on occasion about staircases and where we position the staircases and what they actually do within certain spaces. In this particular home, the staircase is not as prominent because it is actually the atrium that we wanted the attention on. So the staircase, and this is actually adjoining to that atrium, but it's actually out of sight as you enter. So it actually almost catches you as a surprise once you've entered the home. As you turn, we've got this beautiful curved staircase that wraps up a curved wall. So inside the garage, we actually have a storeroom that we've curved the entire wall. So that curved wall actually runs up the entire side, because usually it would make an awkward space on the other side if you're not careful, but we've used this very carefully inside the space. So at the end of the day, it gives you a beautiful curved wall that kind of sweeps up to the top. And what it also creates is that beautiful bridge at the top, that you've got the staircase that's coming up on the one side, and we have a pajama lounge with a bridge that actually crosses across next to your atrium. And when we do the reveal of this house, we'll talk a little bit more about that, because then you'll be able to actually see exactly what we had anticipated. This home, I felt we really achieved a lot space-wise. The client had quite an extensive brief in the home, and in this home, we actually have a formal lounge, a family room, a dining room, a kitchen, a scullery, a laundry, a guest bedroom, a study, 3 garages, a staff room, and 4 bedrooms, where we've accommodated that all within 540 square meters. On this stand, we have approximately 940 square meters, so still quite a lot of space, which remains at the end of the day in order for you to utilize as garden, as you'll see in our video. Yeah, so something interesting that we've done on this home is actually where we placed the staff rooms, because we actually, I almost want to say, for a better word, we ran out of space on the ground, although it's not quite the fact, because we just thought we found a better way of positioning the staff room. So the staff room actually has an external access that comes up next to the garage. But that external access actually presented us with a problem, because we didn't want that access to be visible from the outside when you approach the home. So what we did is we actually designed a wall that actually screens that staircase going up. And I will show you exactly how we did that on site when we actually do the walkthrough now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what we showed you, like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.